4. Does the search warrant specify that you search the pocket or what?
Mr. Speaker. No, Mr. Speaker. I think this is unfair. Mr. Speaker, it's a direct question that is addressed to the minister. I want to understand the scope, the particular search warrant that he got. Is it inclusive of these certain fringes of persons? That is the question I'm asking. So you should just let me know that maybe
that is why you see, Honorable Asafwa, if this question were to be coming from a non-lawyer, but you have seen a copy of a search warrant before. If a warrant is issued to search your house, the warrant will not specify whether they should search pocket of all your searches, your pocket, your fridge, your kitchen, or that the content of the warrant. Please, if you have another question, ask. Honourable members, I think that we have ended the urgent question for the Minister for Interior. However, once the Minister for Interior is here, we have other 3 questions. Should we exhaust the Minister for Interior to go, or we have to exhaust the urgent questions before we again bring the Minister responsible for Interior? Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, both urgent questions and questions scheduled for today are the same. They are all meant for being asked today and answered today. So since he's already sitting there, I think that he can just answer the rest of the questions.
Very well, then we then move to question number 87, standing in the name of Honorable Frank Anodompre, Member of Parliament for Nsaum Adwajiri. Please, you have the floor.
Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for the Interior what plans the ministry has to decongest prisons in the country, particularly the Nsaum medium security prison, which is posing health and safety threats to prisoners and officers of the prison service. I thank you.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as part of measures being taken to decongest the various prisons throughout the country and the Nsaum medium prison facility in particular, the Ghana Prison Administration has adopted initiatives such as 1. Routine transfer of prisoners to camp prisons, which allows the prisons service as part of its security measures to routinely transfer low-risk prisoners from walled prisons to open camp prisons for purposes of decongestion. 2. Mr. Speaker, the Justice for All program, which is another intervention to decongest the prison by allowing the court to sit in the prison to try inmates who have been on pre-trial detention for a long period. Some inmates have been able to regain their freedom through this program, and others convicted. Unfortunately, the program comes with its own sustainability challenges, usually budgetary, making it difficult to be executed at scheduled periods across the country to ease the congestion. I have written to the Acting Chief Justice to consider the vacation period as a planned period annually for consideration of the Justice for All program. Mr. Speaker, the introduction of the parole regulation in accordance with Article 2088 and 3 of the 1992 Constitution, the Prison Service Parole Regulations 2024 was formally laid in Parliament on the 15th of October 2024, but failed to meet the 21 statutory sitting days Mr. Speaker, the draft regulation upon review by the Ministry will be relayed in Parliament. The introduction of the parole system is expected to improve the overcrowding situation and related challenges. It is projected that about 4,000 inmates may be released on parole annually when considered by this August House. Mr. Speaker, the completion of an 800 capacity remand prison at Nsawam, which commenced in 2016, is currently 60% completed. Upon completion, all remand prisoners at Nsawam Medium Security Prison will be transferred there to free up space. Mr. Speaker, the Church of Pentecost is currently constructing 2 camp prisons at their own expense for the prison service at the Damango and Obuasi. Both prisons will have the capacity of about 360. The Damango camp prison is almost completed with final works currently ongoing and is expected to be completed before the end of the year, while the Obuasi camp prison is about 60% complete. Mr. Speaker, the completion of these camp prisons will allow for the transfer of low-risk prisoners from the medium and central and other world local prisons. Mr. Speaker, permit me, even though this is not in the hands, to mention that I want to take this opportunity to thank the Pentecost Church for building 5 prisons. These 2 that I've mentioned inclusive, they have built 5 prison camps to support the prison services. Community Sentencing Bill. Mr. Speaker, the introduction of the Community Sentencing Bill, facilitated by the Ministry of the Interior and the Ghana Prison Service, which aims at introducing an alternative to traditional custodian sentencing and allow court to impose sentences that involve community service or other non-incarceration measures for minor offences, unfortunately could not be passed by the 8th Parliament. Its passage will accelerate the drive to decongest the targeted prisons. Mr. Speaker, as the service continues to grapple with the threat of health of officers and inmates, the Ministry of the Interior in the long term is considering the establishment of the purpose-built hospital for the prisons community at Nsawam and conversion of all infirmaries in the prisons to clinics and polyclinics. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Any follow-up?
Yes, indeed, Speaker. Honorable Minister, as part of your answers, you had observed that the Justice for All program is one of the outlets you intend to use in decongesting our prisons. I know that the POS Foundation, an NGO that was providing the liquidity for the Justice for All program. However, the program has stalled because of funding. Government played a role in providing the framework, which largely was helping in dealing with cases involving the inmate. Now, as the Minister for Interior, do you have any, or has government got any plans to provide some counterpart funding? Because in the first place, it's supposed to be a core responsibility of government, and an NGO is coming in to help. Now, the program is stalling because of funding. I want to know if it's a matter you intend to pick up to ensure that we can raise some revenue to help in the continuation of this Justice for All program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, because of the importance of this, and let me take this opportunity to thank all the NGOs in the past that have supported this Justice for All program. When I was writing to the Acting Chief Justice, I requested that we are giving the budget or the funding that is required. So that, Mr. Speaker, we intend to solicit support from other non-governmental organizations and our development partners. But most importantly, my intention is to make sure that it's part of our annual budget, so that we budget for it and make sure that we fund it, even if not fully. We provide a counterpart funding so that we make sure that this is sustainable and not just abrupt the way it's currently happening. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any further supplementary?
Yes, Speaker.
You have the floor.
Speaker, if I may refer to the minister's answers, the last paragraph. It says, the Speaker, as the service continues to grapple with the threat of health of officers and inmates, the Ministry of the Interior, in the long term, emphasis mine, long term, is considering the establishment of a purpose-built hospital for the prisons community at Nsawam and conversion of infirmaries in the prisons to clinics and polyclinics. My question, the Honorable Minister, is the conversion to clinics and polyclinics is in the long term. My investigation tells me there is lack of adequate medication at all the infirmaries. So I concede as a good plan the conversion of the infirmaries to clinics and polyclinics. But in the meantime, what is the consideration to get these infirmaries equipped with up-to-date drugs to deliver on the health needs of the inmates, of my inmates at the Nsawam medium prisons? Minister, I'm not sure. You will get a question.
Is it not the case that your question is on the measures to decongest the prisons?
Speaker, my question.
Why are you questioning on medication?
I have not departed. The follow-up is right, and I'm referencing his own answers. Speaker, I have not departed from the rules.
From which paragraph?
I quoted the last paragraph. That's on page 14 of the order paper, the last paragraph. And it referenced the conversion of the infirmaries to clinics and polyclinics. And preceding that sentence is the fact that that is ascribed as a long-term measure. And I'm saying that investigation reveals that the infirmaries don't have enough medication. So as a temporary measure, what will the minister do to stock the infirmaries while we wait for the conversion? Because that's a valid question.
Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in fact, the long term is in reference to the hospital, the building of the purposeful hospital. But the other infirmaries, we've already converted many already. In Nsawam, in Kumasi, and many others. And like I answered the earlier question, which is different from yours, was to accredit them with the National Health Insurance Scheme so that when they visit those clinics and polyclinics within the facility, we are reimbursed by the Health Insurance Scheme to enable us continue making sure that we stack our medication. So that's currently what we are doing. But the long term is in reference to the hospital, to build a purposeful hospital. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, last supplementary question.
Speaker, the minister has also observed that there's, as part of measures to decongest the prison, there is a need for a completion of the 800 capacity remand prison at Nsawam. Yes, I have been to the site, see the construction ongoing. Can the minister apprise the House the source of funding for this project, and also if it is the case that it has been budgeted for and it will see the light of day where it will be completed duly?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it was being funded under GOG, by information. And Mr. Speaker, this was started earlier than 2016, and unfortunately it has stalled since 2017. And for almost 8 years. It's been left just as it was. We left it in January 2017. But I can assure my colleague that it is something that we are prioritizing. And already we've visited the place. We've tried to take the new the new quantities and what it will take to get it completed. We are hopeful that in the 2026 budget, we'll make provision for it and ensure that we get it completed. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Honourable Minister with regards to his response in paragraph 5 on the completion of the two camp prisons at Damangu and Obuasi. Though this construction is being done by the Pentecost Church, there is also a contributory responsibility of government to provide accommodation for prison officers in and around those camps. Else, it will be difficult for the prisoners to be checked whilst in occupation. I want to find out from the Honourable Minister what steps government have taken in connection with this to ensure that construction for those accommodations are done so that we can also send the prisoners there to ease the decongestion. Thank you very much, Right Honourable.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, it's rightly correct that the prison camps alone will not be sufficient to be able to put inmates there because you need the prison officers to also be around. But usually what currently is happening is that these are sited close to communities. So the officers are able to rent not far away from the prisons. And as you may know, that in the prison service, you always have officers 24/7 that run in shift. So the only concern is that they shouldn't be too far away from the camp so that when it is time for changeover, there's delay and what have you. But we are putting up a master plan to see what we can do to bring out accommodation. And in the case of the Damango, the prison service has already come up with a drawing of some number of officers' accommodation that needs to be constructed. It is our hope that we may be able to include them in our 2026 budget for construction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honourable members, we then move to question number 88, standing in the name of Dr. Kinsley Ajimai. Abuakwa Saf, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I seek to ask the Minister for Interior, once the ministry has the completion of the National Fire Service College at Chebia Kwedu in the Abuakwa South.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the construction of the Ghana National Fire Service College at the Chebi Aquedum in the Abuakwa South constituency was located in two phases. Phase 1 of the project, which consists of the following facilities, is 95% completed. That is administration block, classroom block, male hostel, female hostel, kitchen hall, parade grounds. The phase 2 consists of the following facilities, which the ministry plans to include in the 2026 budget for construction to commence. A, senior and junior staff accommodation, commercial center, swimming pool, football field, senior, junior staff mess, external works, church and assembly hall, mosques, smoke chambers, and host tower. Mr. Speaker, it is my prayer that this project will be completed on time to enable the Ghana National Fire Service enhance capacity of its officers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, do you have a supplementary question?
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. As the project was phased, will commissioning also be in phases?
No, I don't understand the question.
The project was in two phases. Phase 1 is 95% completed. I'm asking, after completion, will phase 1 be commissioned before moving to phase 2?
Well, would the phase completed be commissioned before you go to phase 2, leading to the completion of the entire project?
Right, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my colleague will notice that even at 95%, we are already using the facility because of the dire need for it. So he can be rest assured that once we complete the phase 1, we'll commission it and then we'll continue with the phase 2. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any further supplementary?
Thank you very much. That will be all.
Very well. Honourable members, that brings us to the end of questions slated for today for the Minister responsible for Interior. Hello, with one question. I think question number 124. Standing in the name of Nana Apau Kwame Adofrimpong.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Interior the steps his ministry is taking to avoid imminent clashes between farmers and migrant herdsmen in the Buakwa North municipality.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, at the beginning of the 2025, farmers, mostly from Kukuruntumi, reported to the New Tafo police that the migrant herdsmen were destroying their farm. A meeting was subsequently organized by the Municipal Security Council, MUSEC, with executives of both parties to find a way to avoid clashes between them. The meeting agreed that the migrant herdsmen should leave Buakwa North jurisdiction within a week, which the herdsmen did not comply with. On 25th of January 2025, the MUSEC, in collaboration with the Ghana police, undertook an operation to drive away the herdsmen. After the operation, some of the herdsmen were still found to be in the jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, on 30th January 2025, the MUSEC again met with the farmers and the remaining migrant herdsmen where it was agreed that the herdsmen leave or face arrest and prosecution. There have since not been any complaint from the farmers. Mr. Speaker, it must, however, be stated that there are indigenous cattle farmers within the Buakwa North who control the grazing of their cattle, which do not cause destruction to farms of the local farmers as compared to the migrant herdsmen. The police intelligence is, however, monitoring the situation to avoid potential tension between the migrants, herdsmen, and the farmers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any supplementary question?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, as we speak, the herdsmen are still there. So can you give us timelines as to when we can move all of them out of the municipality? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, in my answer, I indicated that the migrant herdsmen were all flushed out. But you have people like you and I who have our own cattle, and we regulate the way they graze, and they graze within a limited area. For those ones, they are running their business and they are Ghanaians like you and I, and we ensure that they do not normally cause harm to other farmers because they coexist peacefully. Where the challenge is with the migrant herdsmen, and so far as the information to me indicates that all those who were there were made to leave. Unless if my colleague have any contrary view, he can let me know and I'll follow it up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Minister, it's not a view, it's a fact that as I speak to you now, they are still there in huge numbers. I mean the migrant herdsmen. So we will plead with you to engage MUSEC to have a second look at the matter and make sure they clear them from the minister.
Honourable Member, the Minister indicated that since then he has not received any complaint. So if there is any issue like that, then you need to complain to the Minister. If the issue is still persisting, then you complain to the Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it is for that reason that I asked this very question. The issue is still there.
Mr. Speaker, I can give my colleague the assurance that I will follow up, and if there's anything that we can do together, why not? We can team up and ensure that we get the migrant herdsmen out of the place so that they do not destroy innocent people's farm. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the opportunity.
Honourable members, that brings us to the end of questions for the Minister responsible for Interior. Honourable Minister, on behalf of the House, we thank you very much for attending upon the House and providing answers to the questions. You are discharged. Yes, Majority Leader. We have other questions standing in the name of Minister responsible for Education and
Yes,
Gender.
so let's take education questions.
Very well. Members, let's start with the urgent question for Minister responsible for Education. He's standing in the name of Mr. Alfred Oko van der Poy, Member of Parliament for Ablekuma South. Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have permission from Honorable Alfred Oko van der Poy.
Well, if you don't have his authority, it is permission, then you are not allowed to ask the question.
Mr. Speaker, I have his authority to ask this question.
Very well.
On his behalf.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister of Education when the Get Fund project, 2-story, 12-classroom block at the Mamprobi Sempe compound started in 2015 will be completed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you very much for the opportunity to respond to the question by the Honorable Alfred Oko van der Poy on the state of the 2-story 12-classroom block at the Mamprobi Sempe compound. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Education Trust Fund was established in the year 2000 by the Ghana Education Trust Fund Act 581. The fund existed to provide funding to supplement government effort in providing educational infrastructure and facilities in Ghana from pre-tertiary to tertiary level. Mr. Speaker, there are several uncompleted Get Fund projects across the country. A regrettable development which does not sit with Article 35(7) of the 1992 Constitution, which requires that as much as practicable, succeeding government will continue projects and programs initiated by the previous government. That was not the case, Mr. Speaker, in 2017. And additionally, when Get Fund was further capped by the previous administration, resulted in a number of these projects being abandoned. Mr. Speaker, the President is rolling out the Big Push initiative for infrastructure. The Ministry of Education is making a strong case for some additional resources to support the completion of some of these projects. The Get Fund is currently undertaking an audit of the project. But Mr. Speaker, I must state, and I believe the member will appreciate it, for many of these projects, the contractors have no appetite or motivation to continue. At the time that the contract was awarded in 2015, the cost and value of cement, sand, or other building materials is not as it is today. It is both in the interest of government and the contractor that we evaluate and do an assessment of cost variation in order to support the contractor to continue to be at site. The Mamprobi Sempe 1 and 2 schools are located in the Ablekuma South municipality of the Greater Accra region. Sempe, it has a student population of 269, while Sempe has a student population of 90, making a total of 359 people. The construction of the 2-story unit classroom block at Mamprobi Sempe compound was awarded to Measures Summer Plumbing and Construction Limited at a contract sum of 3.3 million in 2012. Mr. Speaker, certainly 3.3 million today cannot complete that project. The project is being supervised by Measures Amalgamated Design. Works on the project stands at 70% complete, with a contractor currently on site working to complete the project. we will monitor the progress of work and ensure the project is completed. And Mr. Speaker, we have taken a decision to complete a number of GET Farm projects this year. The rest will be budgeted for in the 2026 formula of the GET Fund. I thank you.
Yes, honorable member, any follow-up? Thank you very much. Then we then proceed to question number 80. Standing in the name of
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. N.S. Enim Kumeu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education when work on the stalled Bistro STEM School and Kumeu Anglican Model School projects will resume.
Yes, Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, the Bistro STEM School and St. Peter's Anglican Model School are located in the Setri Kumau district of the Ashanti region. In line with the mandate of the Ghana Education Trust Fund, the fund is supporting the implementation of the STEM school and other projects in the district. These projects are at various stages of completion, and the ministry is working with GET Fund to ensure their completion and successful operation and functioning. There are two projects currently ongoing at Bistro STEM School. They are the construction of the 12-unit classroom block and 6-seater toilet facility. The project was awarded to Messrs. Paul Amentim Limited at a contract of 3.2 million in December 2023 and are being supervised by Compro Limited. The classroom block is at the first floor slab cast stage and the toilet facility is at the lintel level. Payment made to GET Fund so far stands at 645,000, Mr. Speaker. So we support the contractor to complete it. But as I said, the cost variation doesn't provide motivation for many of the contractors as they fear working at a loss. Thank you.
Yes, honourable member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the minister's response, I think he touched more on the Bistro project, but then I did not hear more on the Kumeu Anglican. But then what I want to find out from the minister is that these two contractors have left site for almost 5 months now, and I would want some assurance from minister as to what timelines we should expect these two contractors back on site.
Yes, honourable minister, any timeline?
Mr. Speaker, I've invited the administrator of the GET Fund to come and we'll do an assessment and see what funds is available in his coffers. In fact, this morning I had to ask him to direct funds which was available to pay for WASI, the West African Certificate examination, which is of urgent consideration in order that they are preparing for exams. And then to assure my colleague that we will do everything possible per budget. With St. Peter's Anglican Model School, the construction of the number 2 12-unit classroom block and 6-seater toilet facility, the projects were awarded to Messrs. Intermove Company Limited in August 2024 at a contract sum of 4.1 million Ghana cedis and is being supervised by Compro Limited. The classroom block is at oversized concrete cast level and payment made so far by GET Fund is at 845,000. The honourable member for Kumau, be assured that we will do everything possible to get it completed. Thank you.
Honourable Jerry Ahmed, this is a constituency-specific question. The member is asking a supplementary question and has not exhausted his 3 supplementary questions. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to thank the minister for his assurance that he would work to ensure that these 2 projects are completed. This project is very dear to the hearts of the people of Kumeu, and I'm confident in the venerable minister, and I'm sure we'll be able to work together to ensure these projects are completed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This being a constituency-specific question, I proceed to take question number 81. Standing in the name of Mr. Alassane Suleimana, honourable member for Yo-Yo.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I rise to ask the Minister of Education whether the ministry has plans to urgently complete the abandoned E-block in Nangmangu in the Yunyu constituency, and when the ministry would provide necessary infrastructure for Nanswan Senior High School, Yunyu Senior High School, including dining hall, kitchen, and dormitories. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Yonyo, one of the deprived communities in the Northeast region, certainly deserve more education infrastructure, including senior high school. The intention was to increase access to senior secondary education across the country. That is why the E-Block project was initiated under the Community Day Senior High School. Mr. Speaker, the construction of the E-Block at Namong was awarded to Messrs. Usuya Limited at a contract sum of 6.8 million Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Messrs. Architectural Engineering Services Limited, the AESL. Payment made at Get Fund stands at 3.4 million Ghana cedis. The E-Block is at the second floor slab cast stage. The ministry is working with Get Fund and the Ghana Education Service to ensure the completion and operationalization of the E-Block to serve its intended purpose. So, Honorable Member, I'm sure Mr. Speaker doesn't know your other name. Honorable Jabless will do this for the people of Yonyo. The E-Block Naswan Senior High School is a mixed-sex school located in the Yonyo Naswan district of the Northeast region. The school was absorbed into the public school system in November 2023. The school has a total student enrollment of 184, of which 145 are boarders and 39 are day students. To meet the infrastructure challenge of the school, the Ghana National Gas Company Limited constructed a one-story 12-unit classroom block as part of their corporate social responsibility with a staff common room. However, given the infrastructure challenge, the provision of the company was not sufficient. The minister acknowledges the need for infrastructure improvement, which include providing the school with a dining hall, kitchen, and dormitory. I'm working with Get Fund and will prioritize it into our 2026 budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My follow-up question have to do with our teachers. Yunyu constituency is one of the deprived districts. And you realize that you go to a school which has class 1 to 6, and you only have one teacher or two teachers. And it's worrying. And sometimes when you post new teachers there, because the area is very deprived, they are not happy to stay. So I don't know, with the resetting agenda.
Honourable Member, your question was on school infrastructure, not on teachers. You are talking about dining hall, kitchen, and dormitory.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank the Minister of Education.
By Standing Order 89.
I thank the Minister of Education, and I hope that he would respond to our needs as he said. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Question number 82. Standing in the name of Honorable Damata Ama Apianima Salam, Ifijakwabre, South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister of Education what steps the ministry is taking to complete the construction of Amponsem Senior High School, which has been abandoned for some time at Egretia.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Speaker, thank you very much, the Honorable Damata. Amponsem Senior High School is located at Egretia in the Fija Kwabre South District. The establishment of the school was an initiative of the Fija Kwabre District Assembly with the help of a philanthropist. The school, which started with a population of 100 students comprising 65 boys and 35 girls, is currently not in operation. The Assembly is working on its absorption by the Ministry of Education and has written to the Ministry through the Ghana TVET service. The process for absorption is ongoing. Upon full absorption of the school, the Ministry will take the necessary steps to provide additional infrastructure to accommodate the growing student population in the Fija Kwabre South District. Let me assure the honourable member that the school will be absorbed into the Ghana Education Service system. Thank you.
Yes, honourable member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the Minister, the absorption is ongoing. So I would like to know from the Minister, how soon will the absorption take effect? We all know very soon basic education examination certificate exams will start. And upon successful students to be posted to the various schools to access secondary education. So I would like to know from the Minister, if by then,
how soon? Timeline.
If by then Amponse Senior High School will be in operation.
Speaker, normally when the Ministry receives such requests, we subject it to the regulator to make an assessment. When the minimum requirements are satisfied, we'll grant policy approval to it. Let me assure the honourable member that there is a shift in government policy and emphasis now is on basic education and foundational learning. The trust is that if the child gets it right at 6 years, you can predict the 80 years of that child. So we are beginning to invest more to improve learning outcomes at the basic level and be assured that within the next 3 to 6 months, the absorption process will be completed. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Any further supplementary question? Thank you. We then move to question number 140, standing in the name of Honorable Bid Awantazuma Asidi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education the measures the Ministry of Education has put in place for the completion of the Zambo Girls Senior High School in the Laura constituency. Thank you.
Speaker, if I may indulge you just to complete my answer to the honourable member for Fija Kwabre South. Part of her request is for a TVET, Technical Vocational Education Training Center at Himan Bohu or Boaho. You want to pronounce it well for me? A TVET.
Well, Honourable Minister, that is a question I overlook. I intend coming back to it.
Ah, okay.
But if you want to take it now, then I give the floor to Honourable B. Zidin.
That's why I indulge you.
So then let me give the floor to the Honourable Member to ask the question number 83. Honourable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education what plans the of the ministry is to establish additional second cycle institution in Fija Kwabre South to cater for the increased population, since the only second cycle institution are Edumai Senior High School and a TVET at Himai Bohon.
So, Honourable Minister, you can then provide an answer to that question before we come to
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Bizidi, we shall soon come to you.
For your diligence, the ministry recognizes the growing demand for access to secondary education. Currently, the only existing second cycle institution in the Fija Kwabre South District are Aduman Senior High School and Himan Bohu Technical Institute, located at Himan Bohu. The need for additional educational facilities has become priority given the rapid population growth. Mr. Speaker, in respect of TVET, Technical Vocational Education, I'm working with Cabinet to get approval to establish a Technical Vocational Education Fund to spur investment in education infrastructure for technical and vocational education. Efija Kwabri staff will benefit from it. In fact, this year, Mr. Speaker, in the allocation of the GET Fund formula, we provided for some dedicated financing for technical and vocational education, because it is our belief at the Ministry of Education that if Ghana needs to address the employability question and challenge of youth employment, then we have to emphasize technical and vocational education. Therefore, we would give it a priority and see what we can do for you. Additional school infrastructure will be provided for you per your request, but subject to budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. If you have a supplementary question, please, you have the floor. Thank you. We now come to...
Thank you, Minister, for this assurance. So I'll be coming to your
Honourable
office.
Osani, this is a constituency specific.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, with your leave, I just would want to pursue one supplementary question. The Minister, in his answer, has made an important disclosure. A disclosure to the effect that there is going to be a TVET fund. A TVET fund, which is outside of the GET fund, from what he just told us. He mentions this and saying that it's going to go to cabinet and all. May I know from the minister whether this TVET fund, which his government is looking forward to introducing, would require a levy to be imposed on the ordinary Ghanaian? Because now we've just seen this afternoon the e-levy, the energy recovery levy, simply called e-levy.
Honourable Minority Leader, when we get there, we'll cross the bridge.
Yes, no.
Question disallowed.
Oh,
Honourable Bidzidin, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect. The supplementary must come out of the main answer.
Your question is whether or not a tax will be introduced when they are establishing the TVET fund.
Yeah, that's what
and I'm telling you that when we get there, they will come here, where they will get the money from will be indicated in the House. So
Mr.
it doesn't flow relate to the question. I'm looking at standing order 89.
Mr. Speaker, not Bojidi. Mr. Speaker, respectfully. In other words, the minister should be patient with me. Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Minister of Education is right here. He has mentioned TVET fund. I just want to know. He was shaking his head saying that it was not going to impose any tax burden on the ordinary Ghanaian. Can he say that for the records?
Honourable Minority Leader, your question is overruled. The minister indicated it will go to cabinet. So before cabinet, why would you want him to place answer on record? So when such decision is taken, the answer will come. They will come before us. So Honourable Bidzidin, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, once more. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister of Education the measures the Ministry of Education has put in place for the completion of the Zambo Girls Senior High School in the Laura constituency. Thank you.
Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the honourable member. The Zambo Girls Senior High School, located in the Laura municipality of the Upper West region, is still under construction and not yet in operation. The establishment of the school was the initiative of the Member of Parliament. I should commend him for that. The school has two structures at various stages of completion: one-story block roofed and a 6-unit block at roofing level. The construction of the above projects is not under the supervision of the ministry. However, the ministry will engage with the Ghana Education Trust Fund and the Ghana Education Service to ensure that the necessary steps are taken to provide appropriate infrastructure for the absorption of the school into the Ghana education system. May I also use this opportunity to assure the honorable member that we've just launched a new initiative of providing ICT centers for girls' schools in the country. Zambo girls will benefit from the initiative in our next budget provision. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Awanta Zuma Azidi. Any follow-up?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. The Minister has taken the wind out of my sail, but I will still proceed to get some clarification. We are comforted by the fact that the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, is prepared to absorb the Zambo Girls Senior High School and then provide the necessary infrastructure. But it is still important to find out what was the source of funding for this school so that we can pursue the people who initiated this school to see whether it is still possible. After all, as for resources, if we can get more resources, so much the better. And if we don't know the source of funding, it is very difficult for us to pursue it. So I was wondering whether the minister happens to know the funding source and, for that matter, the contractor as well. Thank you.
This should have been a substantive question for the minister. Honorable Azidi, this should have been a substantive question for the minister. Your question was on measures that the ministry is taking to complete the project. Do you agree with me?
We will do an assessment of it. I'm happy to engage my colleague on it. But Mr. Speaker, it's not unusual. Like he initiated in respect of the Zombo girls, the initiative is the Member of Parliament. And as Member of Parliament, we do know that many of you are responding to the needs to expand access to education in the constituencies. Mr. Speaker, it's not unusual for individual philanthropists to want to invest in education. I came across someone in my recent travel who has built a school somewhere in the Ashanti region. And he indicated that it has a population of over 400 students, and he's happy if government could absorb the school. I requested the Director General of the GS to visit the school last week, and will take appropriate decisions to assist them. At least what government should be doing. There is an individual who says, I would help government in providing access to education. But to a specific question, we'll do an assessment and let him know how the initiative started, who is behind it, who is funding it, and the contractor outside. I thank you.
Any further supplementary question?
Sorry. I have another question.
So I should move to your...
Not immediately, so I can go to that one.
Very well. Question numbered 141. Standing in the name of Bida Wantanzuma Zidi. Honorable Member for Laura.
I rise to ask the Minister for Education the measures the ministry has put in place for the completion of the Bo Dumene E-block in the Laura constituency. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Measures Tifat Company Limited was awarded the contract in 2015 to construct E-block at Bo Donwini in the Laura Municipal Assembly under the government's Community E-block Phase 2 project. Work is currently stalled at 15%. The ministry is currently working with GEFAN to prioritize the stalled E-block. And as I've indicated, Mr. Speaker, I've sent a list of 22 uncompleted GEFAN projects to the administrator to prioritize for this year, and the rest will factor them into next year. The GEFAN currently is dealing with some accumulated arrears, which it is trying to settle so that those who are unpaid would get some money. The ministry remains committed to addressing the challenge and will continue to ensure the completion of the E-block in Bo Donwini in the Laura constituency. The Honorable President be assured that 15%, we have to come and do an assessment of the structural integrity of the project. And then, as I said, If you awarded a contract to a contractor in 2015, 10 years on, 2025, you don't expect him to execute the same project at the same cost. There naturally and necessarily will be cost variation. We have to do an assessment and re-award the contract. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Any follow-up?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I will not have any supplementary question because I trust that the Minister for Education will do as he has said. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We then move to urgent question number 7A, standing in the name of Francis Xavier for Joseph. Yes, Honourable Minister, you are accordingly discharged. We thank you for coming to respond to your questions. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my prayer is that in future we should prioritize our lady. She's been here since we started, and all the men, including the Interior Minister, took their turn and she's been sitting here. Already government could not satisfy the 30% slot for women. And she is
Honourable
here.
Member, you are
Mr. Speaker,
completely out of order.
it.
Honourable Xavier Sosu, you have the floor. Well, the member is not available. We then move to question number 36. Standing in the name of Honourable Vincent Eko Asafua, Old Tafo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection what the ministry intends to do to ensure the continuity of the Kaya Empowerment Program. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in response to the query raised by the Honourable Member, I wish to provide the following detailed information. The Kaya Empowerment Program, a commendable initiative aimed at uplifting a significant segment of our youth, was initially conceptualized and implemented under the auspices of the Office of the Vice President during the previous administration. This initiative was implemented in close collaboration with several key institutions, including the Ghana Enterprise Agency, the Youth Employment Agency, and the National Entrepreneurial and Innovation Program. These institutions, Mr. Speaker, played a pivotal role in the planning and effective implementation of the program, which has been instrumental in empowering our youth engaged in Kaya sector. Mr. Speaker, while the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection was not directly involved in the initial stages of the program's planning and implementation, I wish to unequivocally state our full commitment to supporting this vital initiative. We recognize the critical and urgent need to economically engage our dynamic youth who are involved in the Kaya sector. Therefore, the ministry stands ready to render services in support of the program's continuous success. Our overarching goal, Mr. Speaker, is to ensure that these young individuals